Come on in. This is the Yankey Show. We're going to start in just a minute. I'm just giving you a little time to get in and share and settle in. So jam out to this theme music. I made this theme music on a music maker app. It's pretty funky, right? I'm kind of into it. But go ahead and share this out. We'll start in just a minute, like I said. But this is the Yankee Show. We're just a talk show, like a podcast style show. We're going to hang out, talk about some things. I usually do it on Facebook, but I just got banned. My feed got a community violation, and I am pissed off. So I am redoing the Yankee Show over here, and whatever got me a community violation, we're going to find out what it was. We're going to cover all of it. So come on in. We'll start in just a minute. Thanks for coming. This is the Yankee Show. This is a podcast style interactive talk show, basically. Communicate in the show, participate, because I work better off the comments. I do really well when there's people here talking. So participate in the show. I have stuff written down, though, and we've got some stuff to get into because I'm going to find out. I'm an adult, and I realize I'm using Facebook's platform to do a show, and they don't have to support that. They could be against it, and they have that right as a private company. I know, on and on and on. But I don't agree with it. And I think we need to fight back against this corporate censorship. I don't think it's something we should be embracing. I think we should be fighting against it. Quite frankly. But please share. I'm new to doing live streams on YouTube. I used to do them on Facebook, and I might not be doing them over there anymore. I don't know. In the middle of a live stream, I get community violations on not just my live stream, but like 3 or 4 of my posts. Everything I posted today got a community strike. And I didn't post anything inappropriate. Nothing. So it's ridiculous. And this corporate censorship, which is exactly what it is running rampant. And they're killing the truth in real time. They're eliminating things that they don't agree with, things that go against the narrative, the approved narrative. They're eliminating them. And they're doing it by shutting down things like me, shutting down shows like this. And we talked about some things that I don't think they liked, the powers that be. So I'm going to talk about them again. I'm going to go deeper into them again. And what I think it was that they didn't like was I talked about Hillary Clinton and I talked about Jeffrey Epstein. So we're going to get way into both of those things. So come on in and share. Get this out. This is going to be a fun one. It's always fun when I'm a little bit upset. And I'm upset. This happened like an hour ago. We did the show at 1. I didn't find out about the community strikes until after the show. So I could have been talking to myself for an hour. I'm not sure. And that's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And to be someone that's trying to create shows and create content, it's kind of breaks you. It kind of breaks your spirit a little. And it's like they have a monopoly over that particular type of sharing, over that venue. And it's not right for them to shut you down. And just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not happening. And I know I'm just somebody little, but it needs to matter. It needs to matter no matter when it's happening. But let me bring me into the show here and into the frame. This is Yankey Show. Please share, share, and subscribe to the channel. We do this every Sunday. We're going to start doing it over here now, I think, at 3 p.m. Central every Sunday. So I'm going to start doing more live feeds from YouTube. I'm going to start coming over here and hanging out with you guys more. Here I am. There I am. But this is Yankey Show. We talk about different stuff. But I was doing my show earlier on Facebook. This was a Facebook show. And like I said, got community strikes, community violations because of whatever. It couldn't have been really the show because I don't cuss. I was watching a live feed earlier of this lady, and every other word was the F word. I try really hard not to cuss on live streams. just because it's kind of unprofessional. I know it's more exciting. Like, you know, I got a charge when she would cuss and stuff, and when you're getting emotional and you're being dramatic, it's more fun to watch. So I get that's exciting. I was excited watching her feed, and she was fun to watch, but she cussed a lot, is my point. I don't cuss a lot. I don't talk about bad things. There's no real reason to be shutting me down, is my point. There's no reason for it. And it had to be that I'm talking about things that they don't want out. And the only things that we really talked about, and we're going to cover everything in this. I'm going to do it like it's fresh, just for you guys. So it will be. If it's new to you, it's new, right? And I do this live, so it's all going to be new anyway. But I got to talking, and someone brought up Jeffrey Epstein. Now, if you've been following the news at all, you know about Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire who was running a sex trafficking ring. Okay, he was providing underage girls to elite and wealthy businessmen. That's who Jeffrey Epstein was. And they had taken him down. He'd been getting away with this for decades. For decades. I knew about the Lolita Express. That's what they called his plane. He had a private plane called the Lolita Express. And all these rich and powerful people, they released the flight logs of the Lolita Express. And all these rich and powerful people have been on that plane multiple times. It's an unbelievable list. I don't have it in front of me, but look it up. Don't allow the media to pull focus from this story. This story is important. And moving forward, we're going to be sorry if we let this story die, because with Jeffrey Epstein died in prison. He committed suicide. Heavy air quotes. He committed suicide in his cell. This billionaire, who had been in trouble for this before in Florida and got a slap on the wrist, not even a slap on the wrist, a feather on the wrist. He got a tap on the wrist. He had to do weekends in jail, pay a little bit of money, nothing for someone of his status, and he got to come and go from jail as he pleased. Really, he probably didn't even actually do any time. It's like a mafia guy with a job, a job that on paper he gets a paycheck so he can satisfy his parole officer, but he's really a criminal and he never goes to that job. It's like that. And when you look into Jeffrey Epstein, you find a lot of interesting things. And one of the main things you find is that the way he got his money isn't really the way that you're being told he got his money. You're being told that he was like a venture capitalist, that he was an investor, and that's how he enriched himself. But when you really start looking into him, you find a lot of other interesting things. There's a lot there with Epstein. And the point is, he's dead. He died in prison, like I said. They say he killed himself. But he was in a prison cell by himself, and the only item in the cell was a 4-foot bunk bed. He's a 6-foot tall man. They say he hung himself from a 4-foot bunk bed. They found him on his knees, they say, and multiple fractures in his neck area. Multiple bones fractured from hanging himself from a 4-foot bunk bed. And this billionaire, who, like I said, had been in the trouble for this exact same thing before in Florida and got off, killed himself this time. Now, they did have a little more on him this time. This time they had his New York ring, his New York operation. He even had an island, and I knew about this island. I am a comedian from rural Missouri, and I knew about Pedophile Island. So this is common knowledge. And like I said, he got away with it for a really long time. But they had him on the New York stuff. He was running a sex ring out of his New York penthouse. And they had him. They had 60-something witnesses. They had a good case. He might have done real time, but maybe not. You never know with that kind of money. When that kind of money's involved, you don't ever know. Justice doesn't work the same for the ultra rich as it does for you or me. But when you dig into Jeffrey Epstein, the story gets a lot more interesting, because it turns out that he may have had ties to the Mossad. He may have been Israeli intelligence, but there is a lot there, and they're burying the story. Now that Jeffrey Epstein has died, the story is being buried. And I don't know if that's what got me the community strike talking about Epstein, but a lot of powerful people are tied to Jeffrey Epstein and connected to this Jeffrey Epstein scandal. And that's why it's crucially important that we don't let them push this story under the table and stop reporting on it. I've noticed that even independent journalists that I admire have stopped focusing on this story. They were digging deep into it. Um, some that I can think of off the top of my head, Convo Couch on YouTube, were digging deep into Epstein and exposing the ties to Mossad and exposing all of this other stuff and the lists of the people that are tied to his plane and have flown with him and been to his island. Bill Clinton, 20 something times. 22 times he ditched the Secret Service to go to Pedophile Island. 22 times. Ditched his Secret Service protection to fly with Jeffrey Epstein. Says he never went there, says he didn't participate in any of that stuff. But remember, he also said he never had sex with Monica Lewinsky. I never had sex with that woman, you know? So you can't believe what Bill Clinton tells you. He's already shown you that. And he's been on that plane 26 times, flying God knows where, to do God knows what, with God knows who. Most likely young girls. Jeffrey Epstein would recruit young girls, teenage girls, mostly that lived in trailer parks or were for lower income families. He would recruit these girls and offer them not much money, a couple $100, to bring over friends and do massages. And the story gets more disgusting from there. You know, it would get more and more sexual as time went on with these interactions with these girls, and they would recruit more girls, and that's how he built his web. And there was a woman connected to Jeffrey Epstein that still walks around free, that was basically the pimp and the ringleader of this whole thing. And there's a lot to this. There's just what I'm saying. And maybe that's why my stream got pulled on Facebook. Who knows? You know, I've been in some kind of weird Facebook jail for like a week now, where I can't share to groups and I can't do watch parties, etc., and stuff like that. And they restricted me. And I figured it's because I overshared. But I couldn't share today. You see what I'm saying? No one was watching. There was one person there at my feed. And they pulled it and gave me a community strike on everything I posted today over something I talked about. So I'm going to cover it all again right here, because I'm afraid I was talking to myself for an hour. But Jeffrey Epstein was something that we focused on, that they may have felt they needed to pull my feed for. And fuck them. Seriously, I will start doing my shows from YouTube. And maybe YouTube will shut me down too. I hope not. But Facebook wants to censor me. Facebook wants to suppress me. Facebook wants to shut my shows down and make it to where I can't do shows and make it to where no one sees the shows that I do. So I'm going to try and work out YouTube. You know, I don't focus enough over here. I need to focus more on my YouTube channel and build up my YouTube followings and do live streams on YouTube. I've been told that if I gave YouTube a really good chance, I would like it better. So let's check it out. Let's move forward on YouTube. I think I'm going to move Conspiracy Theories and Chill and this show to YouTube moving forward and just share them to Facebook, you know, because maybe YouTube will give me more freedom. I'm going to find out. You know, I don't fully trust YouTube. YouTube's owned by Google. So my red flags are up a little bit, and that's why I've never really delved in over here on YouTube, because one of my shows is called Conspiracy Theories and Chill. You know, I don't want to be suppressed. Google is suppressing conspiratorial content, things that they consider to be conspiratorial. And I'm pretty sure if you call your show Conspiracy Theories and Chill, they're going to suppress it. So, but we'll find out. Moving forward, I think I'm going to do this stuff from over here. Now, the Daily Burn, that's my daily political show. I might keep that over on Facebook. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it this week. And if they're still shutting me down, I may move the whole kit and caboodle over here. You know, but I'm looking at other options too, like Twitch and DTube and things like that, because I want to be able to share and get this message out and put out my shows. Like I want to do this professionally. And there's links in the description if you'd like to support the shows. But I want to do it either way. I love doing this and I love making these shows. I put a lot of work into it and a lot of effort, and I don't want that suppressed and held back. It's hard enough to grow a following. It's hard enough to grow an audience and get out there and get recognized and get people that want to watch your content and tune in and watch you talk. That's hard enough without being held back and suppressed. So I don't need that. And the other thing we talked about was Clinton. Clinton came up. Hillary Clinton. Hillary and Bill. And it came up because of their connections to Epstein. And it's funny, the Clintons are connected to a lot of people that are criminals, and a lot of people that are guilty of a lot of things. The Clintons are closely connected to. That's interesting. Why do people push that under the rug? Why do people try to ignore that? People will tell you that's not true, that that's conspiracy. Well, it's not. And something like 70, 80 people have died around the Clintons mysteriously. That is suspicious. I mean, come on, let's not throw out logic. Anyone else that happened with, you would admit it's suspicious. You would be like, yeah, that's odd. But since it's happening with, a popular president that could play the saxophone, you're like, no, that's just a coincidence. 80 something coincidences? 80 something coincidences, weird deaths around the Clintons. I've done a video on it, and in my video I think I said it was like 56 or 60 or something like that. And I got corrected because it's not. It is closer to 80. But let me know in the comments what you guys want to get into, because I'm going to talk about Hillary for a minute. And these are the two things that I think got my feed pulled, is Hillary and Epstein. And these are important things. The Hillary thing, not as much as Epstein, but because Hillary's kind of going away, although she has a media tour planned. And I'm kind of curious about what that's going to be, or why. Why is Hillary Clinton planning a media tour? Why do we need to hear from Hillary Clinton again? Do we need to hear from Hillary Clinton? I don't think there's any need to hear from Hillary Clinton about anything, but it says my bit rate is too high. It says that 750, let me write this down real quick. 750 kbps is what they recommend. All right, I'll adjust that. I'm going to play with settings. I'll get it looking good. Hopefully it's not buffering for you guys. But let me talk about Hillary Clinton for a second. Just because maybe she is relevant. Why is she going on these talk shows? Why is she coming back around? Maybe we do need to address it. Liz says, let Pin help you. We don't want to lose you on Facebook. Help me, please. Yeah. Tell me what to do. Give me advice. I'm swinging in the dark. I'm just trying to run shows. I'm trying to build content and build a network of shows. And I want to stream from Facebook because I get better interaction on Facebook and I thrive off the interaction. So I don't want to leave Facebook. But they blocked me today and shut down every post I posted today. Even the text post where I just said the show's coming up in 30 minutes. Everything got a community strike. Every piece on my page. This is ridiculous. And I'm doing this show from a page even. Today's show was Yankey Show. This show. And I was doing it from my Yankey Show page. So not even my personal page. And they shut me down. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I cover what they may have took out. I don't know. Maybe you were there, Liz. Did I get to say these things on air? Was I talking to myself for 60 minutes? I don't even know. I don't know when the community strike happened. But it happened at some point during the show, and it's got me really upset. And I want to make sure that the things that I might have been talking about during that time get out. And I also have my background is stand-up comedy. And if you have a bad show, you immediately seek out another club and get fucked back on stage. You get right back up on the horse and do all you can to keep moving forward. You don't want to let that break your spirit. You have a bad experience, get back out there. So that's why I did this. I came right back on live. I'm real parched. I'm going to probably be drinking a lot from my cup here, a lot of my beverage. But, I just want to do the best I can to move these shows forward, and I want to find the best platform to do that. And I'm gonna eventually stream in both places, from Facebook, YouTube, and I want to stream on Periscope and Twitch and all that at the same time as well. When I get the new computer, we'll be doing that. And the new computer, for those of you that donated in that fundraiser, thank you so much, by the way, for donating and supporting the shows and helping us to get a new computer. But we're getting it. It's being built right now. It's being put together to the specs that I need. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect for what we need it for, and everything's going to be really cool moving forward because we're going to be able to do better things. And I'm also going to I've got stuff planning uh, in the future to get better lighting and to move the camera back. I want to move the camera. I've been told it looks like I'm sitting on the toilet. I've been told that it looks like I'm sitting on the toilet. And who has a curtain behind their toilet? I mean, it kind of makes me want one now. It kind of makes me want to put a curtain behind my toilet. But who has a curtain behind their toilet? And whose bathroom is this well lit? I don't want my bathroom this well lit. I've got 4 lights on me right now. No one's bathroom is lit like that. It doesn't look like I'm on the toilet, but I want the camera further back, where you can see more of the set, more of the computer and more of the desk, and it looks more professional. And I'm thinking about wearing suits. Tell me what you think, because I love the hat and t-shirt look. I'm in love with the hat and t-shirt look, but it doesn't look very professional. I admit that. It also casts a shadow on my face, but I like it. It's like my look. It's been my look since I started doing live streams. When I first started doing live streams, I wore sunglasses. I was bad. I was like Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg is a famous comic and a favorite of mine, and he had bad stage fright, and he wore sunglasses so that he didn't have to keep his eyes open at all times during when he was on stage. And I didn't do it for that reason. I did it because I have these dark circles under my eyes. I have eyes like Sylvester Stallone. I stumbled with that, but I do, and they're always that way. It's not because I'm not getting enough sleep, even though I do suffer from sleep apnea. I don't know if you know what that is, but that's where you stop breathing in your sleep, and you're supposed to wear one of those special masks. And I had somebody that was nice enough at a live stream. They noticed my eyes and sent me a sleep apnea machine. So I got a CPAP machine from doing live streams, and that was just when I was starting out. So, but I still have the circles. You see what I'm saying? It's just something that's part of my face and the way I look. Sylvester Stallone got it fixed with plastic surgery. It's called something. I don't remember what it's called, but it's called something. Liz says, one thing I can help you with is clearing your settings on your pages so that you won't be getting shut down so much. Sweet. I know nothing about running the page. I used to run from someone else's page. I used to run from a page called Politics and stuff, but we had a falling out. And then I went out on my own. And I kind of like that. I like being on my own. That way I'm not, you know, depending on anyone else. But at the same time, it's hard because I'm doing it all by myself. There's no one helping me run the page. I finally got one person, a friend of mine, Clinton, to help me run the Our Revolution War Room page. And that's fantastic. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everything Clinton's been doing. There are certain people, certain friends, since I started this, that have been very supportive, and Clinton is one of them. Thank you very much. I want to give you a shout out because you inspire me and help me when I'm feeling down or feeling discouraged. And lately I've been feeling discouraged a lot because of this Facebook sharing jail. And it's hard to be in a Facebook sharing jail when you're trying to do shows and you're trying to make content, especially if you want it to get out and you want people to see it. But I don't want you to think I forgot about Hillary Clinton. So we were talking about Hillary because of Bill, because we were talking about Epstein, and Bill is tied to Epstein. Hillary was a terrible candidate. Hillary is a terrible person. Steve had asked me during the feed, did I think Hillary was going to come back into the campaign, announce her candidacy? People are saying that Hillary Clinton might announce her candidacy to jump in the campaign now that Biden's toast. Biden is done. Biden is done. Trump might be done too, but Biden is definitely done. But people are saying Hillary has this media tour plan. She has a media tour plan, and they're saying that the reason for that is she's going to throw her hat in the ring and announce her candidacy, announce that she is coming to save the day and run for president and, win and beat Donald Trump, beat the scary orange man for us. Hillary's going to do it. Steve asked me what I thought about that, and what I think is I don't think so. I really don't. And I just really don't believe that Hillary's going to enter the presidential race. I believe she's going to put her 2 cents in. Maybe she's got a new book or something. I don't know what she's promoting. But I don't think she'll enter the race, and I don't think that for a couple of reasons. One, she got beat really bad by a reality TV star. She got beat so bad, the media came up with a fake story of why she got beat so bad. Because the media got exposed as a bunch of liars, because they told you over and over again for a year that she was going to win in a landslide. Ever since the primary was over, ever since the primary ended, she told you to, or the media told you that Hillary was going to stomp Donald Trump, that it was going to be a wipeout, a devastating loss, that he was going to be embarrassed. Well, that's not how it played out. It played out quite the opposite. So the media was exposed as liars, and their whole story blew up in their face, and everything came to a screeching halt. And the reason for that is the American people took a stand. Whether it was against the establishment and voted for Donald Trump for that reason, or all of the independents and progressives that they upset and turned against them when they rigged the primary, which is what they did. That's what happened. You want to talk about an election being rigged in this country? An election was rigged in this country. It was the Democratic primary in 2016. And people keep talking about this new revolution with Bernie now, this second chance. And what's going to happen when they rig this one, Sean? What's going to happen? Well, if we allow them to rig a second election, and when I say we, this isn't the political show, so we won't get political. I take Sundays off. But when I say we, I'm talking to everybody, every one of us, all of society. If we let them rig another election, because Democrat, Republican, no matter who you are, it should matter, then we're done. Politics is done. I have no faith in it moving forward, and will put my attention somewhere else. It will be in the direction of revolution or something like that, or activism locally, something. I will focus somewhere else. I can't do nothing. I'm an empath. I can't do nothing. I don't have the ability to look away. I can feel the evil in the world, and it sucks. And I got to do something about it. Plus, I have children, and I hope that they get to have grandchildren. I hope that they have a future. And right now, they don't. They don't have a future. And if we don't do everything we can, they won't. So that's what, I talk about pretty much on every show that I have. In the Daily Burn, we talk about it every day because that's about the political revolution. So, of course, we talk about it. But I talk about it on the Yankey Show. I talk about it on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Because all of my shows really do tie in together, even though they're different. This one is random. We can talk about anything. And let me know in the comments anything that you want to talk about. And just for a second, and I hope you'll forgive me, I have to go. My dog is whining, and I have to let it out. So please forgive me and listen to this music while I go and let my dog out, and I will be right back. Give me like 30 seconds. My apologies. Thank you for being cool about that. Let me turn this back down. Let me know if that's annoying in the background, that background music, because I don't want that to be overpowering. I want you to barely notice it, just barely there. And I've been picking up tips here and there from different people that do this successfully. I watch them and I try to learn from them. That's the way I learn. You know, somebody told me today, because I shared a screenshot when YouTube shut me down. I shared a screenshot, and but it was just me taking a picture of my computer screen. And they asked me, they was like, "Don't you know how to share a screenshot of your computer?" And I literally don't. I really don't. You know, I do a lot of stuff on the computer. You'd think I'd be better at it. You know, I run shows, I run 4 shows. You'd think I'd be better at the computer. I got to know how to do this editing software and all this other stuff. But I learn what I need to know. I use compartmentalization on myself. I can't hold all the information. You know, I don't know how to access that much of my brain. So I just use what I need and learn what I need as I need to know it. But Liz says the circles under my eyes can also indicate a lack of iron. Maybe my mom was iron deficient. Maybe. Maybe I should ask my doctor about that. She says, "We heard you and shared your stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it." Is it still up? On my page, it's not. I can't look at it. I appealed the community strikes. Like I said, every post on my page today got a community strike. I appealed them all, and I just noticed I have a cigarette in my hand. When I got up to let the dog out, I lit a cigarette, just out of reflex. I am addicted to these things, and I try not to do them on a live stream. I apologize. I didn't even realize I did it. I might as well finish it now. I hope it doesn't bother you, but I won't. I won't light another one. But because it looks like I'm a fire-breathing dragon. It looks ridiculous. I've watched it back on live streams, and I always feel like, oh, you shouldn't have did that. You know, I'm always like, don't smoke. The smoke itself looks cool. Like, it looks cool coming up on my face, especially on the Daily Burn, because I got the fire logo, and it looks really cool. But sometimes it has a nice effect, but it never looks good doing this. This never looks cool. Only a few people have been able to make that look cool, like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, and James Dean. He was really good at making smoking look cool. Some actors maybe, but not a lot. Not a lot of people can pull it off and make it look cool. Liz says Hillary Rodham Clinton endorsed Harris. The impeachment could be a way for Hillary Rodham Clinton to get in the race again. Blah. It could be, but I'm not worried about any of that. To me, that's all distractions. And like I said, Hillary might throw her hat in the ring, but I don't think so. Steve was asking me if I thought she would, and I just said, no, I don't think so. I really don't. And I think it's because she knows that she's very unpopular. Hillary Clinton lost the election for a lot of reasons. None of the reasons that they're telling you, but a lot of different reasons. And one of them is they were trying to force an unpopular candidate on the American people. She was very well known, but it's Bill that's popular, not Hillary. Hillary has forced her way into politics. Bill is the politician. Bill is the people person, too. Hillary's a terrible person. If you look into Hillary personally, just as a person, look at the things, the books that people that have written for the Clintons have wrote about Hillary Clinton. She's a vile person. And it comes across. You cannot hide that. When you are evil to your core, and I believe Hillary Clinton is evil to her core, is a terrible person, and every story I've ever heard about her says that she is. So I feel confident saying that, even though I've never met the woman. I can feel and read people's energies, and you can see it on her. She has evil to her soul. But more than that, the American people didn't like her. And she thought she was going to walk right in. She thought she was entitled. And the reason I think she was entitled, and this might have been why I got kicked too, is because they made a backroom deal. Her and Obama made a backroom deal. She would back out of that race, and she would be the next president after Obama. And I think that's why she took the role of Secretary of State. I don't think she really wanted to be Secretary of State, and that's why I don't think she did it for very long. You know? She wanted the title. She wanted, during the presidential debates, for them to have to call her Secretary Clinton. She didn't really have a good title before that. Senator is not as good as Secretary Clinton. But we can get into a lot of stuff with Hillary. We can get into a lot of stuff with the Clintons. And we will if you want. Let me know. But this isn't the Conspiracy Theory Show. We do that on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. And like I said, we'll probably start doing them over here on YouTube now. I'm going to find out. I don't know what's happening on Facebook. I don't know. I never had anything like this happen to me. Like I said, I've never even been in Facebook jail. Ever. And I share all the time. You know, and I participated in Free the Nipple. I shared a picture of female nipples to Facebook. You're not allowed to do that. I'm not in Facebook jail. I'm not allowed to share my shows. I can share posts. Why are they shutting down my shows? Why is that happening? Someone that's more technically advanced, because I seriously doubt that there's a orchestrated group shutting down Sean Yankey. No one knows who I am. You know, I'm just a budding live streamer. No one knows who I am yet. So no one's out to get me. I mean, I know that there's algorithms in place to stop this kind of stuff, but there can't be an agenda in place to stop me. The most views I've ever got on a video is 2,500. So I can't be on a radar. You know, I'm probably on the no-fly list, but I can't be on anyone's radar. And something else I wrote down to get into is I got a new telescope. I bought this new telescope and I was looking at the moon and I was looking at the Tycho crater and I was thinking about how this crater is 60 miles across, the Tycho crater, and it's visible with the naked eye. The little crater at the bottom of the moon, that's called the Tycho crater, that little dimple. And it's visible with the naked eye. And that is 233,000 miles away in the middle of space. Isn't that amazing? A 70-mile crater, visible with the naked eye. And through a telescope, it's visible. You can see details. And my telescope's not even that fancy. You can see details in the Tycho crater. 60 miles. You could put it in a map of Texas and it wouldn't even really show up. It's fascinating when you look into it. Why can I see the Tycho crater from Earth? You know, I don't understand a lot of stuff. I'm not a science person, and this probably is more a topic for the Conspiracy Theories and Chill show, but why can I see the Tycho crater from Earth? Think about it. It's a 70-mile across crater. I'm real sure I'm accurate about that. So why can I see it from Earth? And the second question I have, and this is a moon question, I love the sky. That's why I got a telescope. I love looking at the sky. I like looking at stars and stuff. And, you know, clear night is fascinating to me. I like to lay out on the trampoline and look up at the stars. And I thought it'd be cool to have a telescope. And that's why I got one. But why? Let me just ask the question. I'm flirting with it. Let me just ask it. On a clear blue day, right? Clear blue sky. Why can I see the moon in detail, including the Tycho crater? Why can I see that? The space is black. Infinite space is darkness. There's nothing. The moon is out in infinite space, 230,000 miles away. Why is it in my blue sky? The sky isn't even blue, you know what I mean? It looks blue because the light is refracted off the atmosphere, etc. And there are a lot of scientific reasons why the sky is blue. But the sky is blue for those reasons, not because it's blue. Why is the moon? The moon should be out in darkness. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand that. And it's outside of my range of intelligence. I understand that it's outside my range of intelligence, but someone smarter than me explain that to me. I would like to know why I can see the Tycho crater from Earth, and I would like to know why the moon shows up in the blue sky. That's fascinating. I don't get it. You know, but I'm sure there's a scientific reason. I'm sure there's a reason why, and someone can point me in that direction. But I have those particular questions. Then there's also a place that exists on this planet where you can see for something like 2,000 miles. You can see that you shouldn't be able to do that. I don't know how familiar you are with the curvature of Earth, but due to the curvature of Earth, you should not be able to see an object that's 2,000 miles away. But from this particular point, you can view an object, a mountain range, and you can view the whole mountain range from top to bottom from thousands of miles away. That shouldn't be possible. So these are things I would love explained to me, because I run into a lot of this stuff during my travels. I watch all kinds of videos. There's all kinds of videos out there, as I'm sure you know. And I love conspiracy videos. That's my favorite. So you probably know what kind of videos I got those from. I got them from Flat Earth videos. And I'm going to have a Flat Earther on Conspiracy Theories and Chill coming up. And we're going to get into it because I want answers to these questions. You know what I mean? I would like answers to these questions. And I'll explore topics like that. That's why I probably need to move my show over here. And I don't know that it'll do better over here. I'm not sure. But on Facebook, I'm being shut down. I'm in Facebook sharing jail, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard about in my life. That is the stupidest thing. But the other thing I wrote down to talk about is marijuana legalization. They just legalized marijuana in my state. It becomes legal January 31st at midnight. So the first of the year, it's legal, medical in Missouri. I can't believe that. I never thought Missouri would get to a point where they would have legalized marijuana in any form. But we already sell CBD. We're a Bible Belt, Bible thumping red state. I never thought that I'd see this. Never thought it would happen, but it's happening. And I think it's great, but I need to get on getting my card. I haven't even found out the information. You know, it's out there. I could have. I walk around with a computer in my pocket. I think we talked about that a second ago. It's because of laziness that I don't know, but I need to inform myself and I need to get my card because it's almost October. And I need to be first in line when the dispensary's open. I can't wait. You know, I'm a cannabis enthusiast and I can't wait to be able to buy my medicine, which is what it is. It's medicine with dignity. To walk into a store with dignity and hold my head up and shop and get something and know what I'm getting and not have to deal with some shady individual and overpay. I am so done with overpaying. You know, and then more than that, now that what 26 is it 26 or more, it's more than 26, I think. States have legalized marijuana in some form, whether medically or recreationally. There's like 8 that have legalized it recreationally. Since the government is selling weed to pay their bills, can we please let people out of prison for a flower? You know, marijuana being illegal is a crime against humanity. I've said that a lot, and it's true. Cannabis being illegal is a crime against humanity. It's a miracle plant, and I'm religious. I believe it's from God and put here for our use, but you don't have to be religious. You can look at it from a scientific viewpoint and see how beneficial it is. It has thousands of uses. It can be used for all kinds of things. And then hemp, its cousin, is even more useful. Could literally replace things like timber in the timber industry. It could do almost everything that's used for. You wouldn't have to cut down all these trees and do a lot of things. And the crops can reproduce every 90 days. You could have a new crop of hemp. So it's much more sustainable even. And this was true. This has been true for over 100 years. You know, they were going to move to hemp. And William Randolph Hearst started a smear campaign against marijuana to stop that because that would have killed off his interest in the timber industry. So propaganda has been around for a long time. Rich people have been using their money to get what they want and distort the narrative and distort reality even for a long time because he convinced everybody they were using cannabis. People were using cannabis. That was in cough medicine. People knew what cannabis was, so they used this word marijuana because at the same time, a lot of immigrants, because of the rail work being done and all the different building, our country was built by immigration. Our country was built by immigrants. So, but all these people were coming in, and people were threatened by the Mexican immigrants in particular. And marijuana was a Mexican slang term for a particular type of tobacco. It wasn't even their word for cannabis. It was a slang term for a type of tobacco. They picked up that phrase and used it in the fear propaganda. They had a whole fear propaganda campaign against cannabis under the name marijuana. That's where that comes from. It's actually a slang term that they use to fool the public into making marijuana a class 1 substance, right next to heroin, considered just as dangerous as heroin. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's harmless, you know. Little old ladies smoke it for their glaucoma. You wouldn't believe If you knew everybody that does smoke and consume cannabis in some form, you would be blown away. A lot of people lie to you, do that shit behind closed doors, and that's their right. They don't have to tell you. I'm just saying you'd be amazed if you knew the truth. It's looked down upon, but it has it has a false image, and that image was put forth on the people by millions of dollars. It would be billions in today's standard of money. Ugh. I'm stumbling all over the place, but this is my. I did an interview today. I did an hour on Facebook. I don't know how much of it actually went out on Facebook because, like I said, I got 5 community strikes during my feed, but it might have all went out. Maybe none of it went out. I'm not sure, but and then I've done this because I redid it. I was mad, and I thought maybe they pulled me because of the Clinton and the Epstein stuff. So I was like, you know what? We'll cover that again. Because, like I said, from my background, and my background's in stand up comedy, whenever you have a bad experience on stage, you get right back on stage. Because you don't want to allow that to break your confidence and break your spirit and break your will. And I'm real big into all of that right now. I'm real big into your mental state and keeping that in check. So that's why I had to do this. And then out of stubbornness, I covered those two topics to make sure I got it out there. Because I'm bullheaded. But support the shows. There's links in the description for how to support my shows. Please do. But you can also support me by liking and sharing, just getting it out there. I don't want to talk to myself. I want people to see this stuff. That's what I'm trying to do is create content that you like. So also let me know what you want to see. This week on Conspiracy Theories and Chill, coming up on Wednesday night at 9 p.m., we will be covering Lucius Trust. And that is fascinating. Lucius Trust is a Luciferian organization that runs out of the United Nations. Their address is actually 666 United Nations Plaza. It gets better. They have a huge mural in the security room of the UN where they plan world events, like if there's a war. Hey, by the way, will you bring me a cigarette? They're yours. I'm out. Where they plan wars, they have a huge mural, and the mural is Luciferian. This organization is Luciferian. They're open about that. And they also have a plan to conquer the world. And they have 9 tenants. You can look it up. It's pretty fascinating, actually. But I'm going to cover that on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. right here. We're going to probably do it from YouTube. I used to do it from a Facebook page, but I don't know about Facebook now. I'm mad right now, so you can't make decisions when you're angry. But moving forward, we might just move that one over here too. So either way, it'll be on at 9 p.m. on Wednesday night. And check it out. I'm going to go way into Lucius Trust, and we're going to look into it. We're going to go into their tenants. We're going to go into that mural. We're going to look at it and really dig into it. So I'm excited about that and looking forward to it. But we can cover anything you want on that show. Let me know some conspiracies that you want to see us cover moving forward, and we can get into anything you want. Like I said, I got an interview coming up with a flat earth guy. I'm lining it up. So, because I cover everything, anything. And we just had recently, this Wednesday, we had Allie French on from MMAMV. She's a Millions March Against Mandatory Vaccines. She's a medical rights activist, and she was on to talk to us about mandatory vaccinations. That's up on the YouTube channel now. I edited it because during the stream, during the feed itself, my computer crashed. And what was funny is my computer and my phone crashed at the same time. And I got completely logged out of Facebook just like today. I got completely logged out of Facebook and had to redo my password and everything to get back in. So that's why I'm kind of done with Facebook. I don't know where I'm going to land on that. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but the shows will keep going. I'm doing this professionally now. And I've mentioned it a couple times, but there's links in the description to Patreon and PayPal if you'd like to support the shows. Because we're going to get better stuff. We're going to get better cameras. We're going to get better mic. We're going to get better lighting. All kinds of things. Because I want to look fancy. Right now, I'm looking up to Tim Black and Kyle Kolensky. Those are where I have my sights. So I'm learning from them. That's where I got the idea to add, hey Kathy, that's where I got the idea to add the background music. That's where I got the idea to add the little bumper at the beginning to play music before we start to give people time to come in. That's where I'm getting a lot of these little tips. I learn by watching. So I'm just paying a lot of attention to what I see other famous, or not famous, but successful live streamers doing, and I'm trying to do that moving forward. But let me know what you think about changing the look. What do you think about moving away from the t-shirt and hat look? Or do you like the t-shirt and hat look? I like it, but I don't think it looks very professional maybe, you know? Kathy says they want 2016 again, let her run. Hillary? Oh, she ain't gonna run. I really don't think so. I really, really don't think there's any chance Hillary Rodham Clinton is gonna throw her hat in the ring. And I honestly think it's because she got beat so badly. You know, they used the media to the full extent. They used everything they could against us and tried their very best to install Hillary Clinton as president, and they failed. They threw everything at us they possibly could. You know, and earlier, this is another thing that might have got me kicked. After she lost, when she finally came back out of hiding and sobered up and got in front of the cameras, they were all wearing purple. I don't know if you remember that. Well, Hillary Clinton is part of the elite, the powers that be that rule our world from behind the curtain. And to them, the color purple has meaning and it's a war color. When I saw that, because she had it on, Bill had it on, everyone on stage with her, there was like 4 people up there, they were all wearing purple featured. That means something. Whenever you see that, it means something. They believe in um, numbers and colors and patterns. That it all has meaning to them. You can think it's hogwash if you want, but it's not. And the purple, I was trying to figure out, well, what is she trying to say? The battle's over. So what war is she in with us? And it had me worried for a while that it was a war against the American people, that the Illuminati was trying to signal that, all right, you want to stop us and you can fight, you think you can fight back against what we want to do and what our agenda is? We'll go to war with you. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Because if you think about it, ever since then, we've been under attack. The media is a propaganda machine. It's weaponized propaganda. That's all it is, and that's all it's for. And it's been used against us in mass since the 2016 election. It's always been used against us. But think about the Trump derangement syndrome that is laid on every day, the brainwashing that Trump is some kind of a mastermind. They attribute traits to this man that he does not deserve. There is no reason to feel this way about him, that he even has the capability to have these master plans. He's a fumbling buffoon. And then this transcript they released for this impeachment proceeding that they're talking about and they're all excited about, it didn't make him look bad. I read it. You know, he was inquiring about an investigation and he didn't outright ask even. The other guy gave all kinds of information. He was very forthcoming. So, and Trump only mentioned having the attorney general contact him, but I don't think there's anything with the impeachment. I think it's a distraction. I think that's all it is. And I don't think they're going to impeach him, but even if they do, it doesn't matter. The fight I'm in doesn't end. I'm in the political revolution. I'm pushing for Bernie Sanders and real change. So for me, impeaching Trump does nothing. If you're a true leftist and you truly want progress, you don't really care. Your enemy is not even Donald Trump yet. It's the establishment. We're going to fight Donald Trump, but let's get to that later. Let them focus on impeachment, though. But they're going to invest a lot of money and waste a lot of time when you're going to replace him in 2016 anyway. Not 2000, 2020. But Kathy says there was no there. Come as you are, I always say. I like the hat and t-shirt look because I collect t-shirts anyway, so I like t-shirts. And then I like this hat. I'm comfortable in this hat. And, you know, I got this little bald spot. You see that? It shows up really good on camera. I never noticed it before I saw it on camera. I was at work when I first noticed it. And it was on the security camera. I looked up in the security camera and I saw the top of my head and I was like, oh my God. So when it gets worse, I'll Bruce Willis it. But for now, I don't want that because with all this lighting, it's really focused on the bald spot. Plus, I like the hat. And I thought it was a look. But I've been told a lot of times that it's unprofessional. You know, I've even been told that this hat looks like a turban. That's probably the craziest thing I've been told. I got told that, you should take off your head wrap. Not a turban, but a head wrap. Because I had it on backwards, and they said it looked like a turban. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Kathy apparently thinks that the hat and t-shirt look is good going forward. But what is something else I wrote down? Bring up anything you want, and we'll wrap up soon. I'll do a little more time, though, because we just got a few more people in, so I don't want to bail on you right when you come in. But we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about Jeffrey Epstein. We talked about Hillary Clinton. We talked about Facebook being a bunch of jackasses and kicking my shows. They gave me 5 community strikes today, all in a row. Everything I posted today on Facebook got a community violation. I appealed them all. We'll see what happens, but so I redid the show because, like I said, where I come from, you jump back on the horse. And from my background, that's what you do. And I don't want my confidence shaken because of that. So I'll build my audience up over here. I'm trying to build the show, the page anyway. So subscribe to the channel, and that way you can stay up to date with our content and follow our shows because I'm gonna be doing a lot more shows over here. Like I said, conspiracy theories and chill might move here, and Yankey rants. Yankey rants I'm bringing back, and that's a show where I just rant. I pick some topics and I just rant, and you can come participate. Every one of my shows is audience participation, so I always like it when people show up and talk. So let me know anything you want me to talk about before we wrap up, and we'll get into that. But again, you can support the shows by doing so with the plugs in the description or like and share. That helps me a lot. Getting this out, I'm trying to build an audience and build my subscribers up to 1,000. So if you want to help with that, that would be tremendous. I would really appreciate that. So I feel we got a good channel here, and if the right people see it, we're really going to start growing. We just need to get it out to the right audience. So if you want to share it and get it out for me, I'd really appreciate that too. And any participation in the show, like commenting, thank you, Kathy, for participating, and Liz. That all really helps too. And if I can't see your comments, I've noticed that happens on YouTube. Sometimes there's other comments going on and you can't even see them. Because I did a live feed yesterday and or the day before, and a friend of mine was there and he was commenting, but it was showing up in the main comments and not in the live chat. I don't know why. I guess he was commenting in a different part. There's probably a reason for it. But then the other thing that sucks about the live chat comments is they don't show up unless you choose for them to show up when you rewatch the video. You don't see what people said during the live. And I just lit another cigarette. I knew I was going to do that when I asked her for it. Babas came in here a little while ago, and I asked her for a cigarette. But I had promised myself when I took it, because I was going to smoke it when I took it from her hand, and then when I went to set it down, I was like, nope, you know what? I'm going to save that for after the show. I'll light that right after the show. Celebrate like a pro. Look, there's me lighting it. There's a delay. 10 seconds later, it shows me what I'm actually doing. But I lit it because this is a bad addiction. I honestly think nicotine should be illegal. I don't like that I can go right down the street and buy this. That's not good. You want to talk about marijuana should be illegal. I disagree with you. I think this is way worse than marijuana ever has been or ever could hope to be. And statistically, I'm right. I could die from this. I could die from nicotine poisoning. You can't die from marijuana. I don't care how much you smoke. Your average marijuana user is nothing like Cheech and Chong or Harold and Kumar or whatever movie you want to compare them to, because smoking that amount of weed is expensive. Cheech and Chong is one of the most unbelievable movie premises because you got 2 hippies with no job that are smoking thousands of dollars of marijuana a day. Where is it coming from? Where'd they get it? And in some of the movies, the premise is they're moving weight, they're moving a lot of marijuana, but some of the movies they're not. And you're just like the whole time, you're just like, where's the money coming from for all this? The joints that they roll are ridiculous. And that's why the legalization movement, when the legalization movement really got going, they didn't want to be associated with Cheech and Chong because Tommy Chong does a lot in the legalization movement. But they don't want that association because they don't want people thinking that when they think about cannabis users. They don't want them thinking Tommy Chong. They don't want them comparing them to Tommy Chong. But Tommy Chong does a lot for legalization and has earned his stripes, did prison time over it, over bongs. Tommy Chong did prison time over some bongs. And he was tricked. It was entrapment. And look into that story. There's a really good documentary on Netflix about it. It was entrapment. They tricked his son into shipping some bongs to a state where you're not supposed to ship them to. And then they threatened Tommy Chong, threatened to put his whole family in prison, and he went down for it and did real time in prison. It's interesting. Over bongs. Kathy said, I've been smoking since I was 13. Me too. She says she's 65. I'm 43, so 30 years for me. 30 years I've been doing this stupid shit. I started for a girl. I was dating this girl. She lived across the street from me. She was a Catholic schoolgirl. I was 13. She was 16. And I thought she was super cool. She smoked. I started smoking, kept doing it. Done it ever since. I've quit twice. The longest I ever made it was 6 months. It's really hard to quit smoking. People don't think so, but it really is. And now they're trying to crack down on the vape industry. And I'm telling you, it's the tobacco industry behind that. They're putting the money behind that. They're smearing the vape industry because they don't want you to get off their product. They don't care that you're dying. How many people die a year from cigarettes? But 4 or 5 people die from some vape accidents and they want to outlaw vapes right away? Look at where the money is behind all that. Look at where the money is behind that outrage. You're going to find it comes from the tobacco industry. That's where it is. That's where the money's coming from. They don't want the competition. That's the truth of the matter, the truth of the situation. It's not about your health. They don't care one bit about your health. It's that they haven't found a way to capitalize on the vape industry. It takes money away from them. Some people even prefer vapes to cigarettes, to the real thing. I don't, but some people do. And you can get flavors. You can get like, chocolate chip cookie vape. Every time you suck on it, it tastes like a chocolate chip cookie. I never got into that shit because I don't want everything I eat to taste like my cigarette. That's why I don't like menthols too, because it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. These are Beba's cigarettes, and Beba smokes menthols, and I hate it. But Kathy says 3 years quit and 2 pregnancies, never smoked. 3 years, the longest she ever made it. It's hard. It's hard. They say they're as addictive as heroin, but it's awful that they exist. It's awful that they're so easy to get too. Because I mean, seriously, 3 houses down from my house, I can go buy a pack of cigarettes. And it's the whole wall is cigarettes. I have to look at my addiction every time I go into a gas station. It's really hard to quit. It's too available. It's everywhere. You know, Yet marijuana stays illegal. Kathy says I vape for the last 6 years only. Yeah, and they're trying to shut that down. They're coming after the vape industry. And these problems with the vapes, isn't that only the cannabis vapes? And wasn't it only a particular type of cannabis vape? I don't know, but they're trying to crack down on the whole vape industry over it and cause an outrage over vapes. And the tobacco industry is the one putting money into that. That's who's doing that little push. But this is Yankey Show. We do this every Sunday. We're going to probably start doing this one from the YouTube page. Maybe. I don't, like I said, I'm still mad at Facebook. So you shouldn't make decisions when you're mad. I'm going to think it over. I'm going to explore my options moving forward, but I'm going to keep this in my back pocket. It it may be the new option. It may be where we land. We did okay. I don't do a lot of feeds over here, so to have the people that we had at the feed, that's good. And maybe it'll get views after and do well afterwards. So we'll see. We'll let that play out and find out how it goes. But I think I might move it over here and just share to Facebook. I don't know. I got to think it out, think it through, figure out what I'm going to do. Kathy says Michigan, MJ's legal now, marijuana. Oh man, I'm jealous. Legal medical here starting first of the year. I got to get my card. I got to get off my ass and get out and get my card because I want to walk into the store when they open. I want to be the first through the door. I want to camp outside before they open. I can't wait. I've been to one dispensary. We went to Colorado on vacation, and I went to one dispensary, and it was a tremendous experience. Just walking into a store instead of some shady guy's house or some shady guy's living room, and being treated with dignity and getting to shop and look at your product and pick what you want. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and I can't wait to experience it again and to know that that's going to be my new regular thing. That's going to be my new norm. I don't have to deal with this anymore, the shady side of the drug industry. And my medicine doesn't have to be treated like a drug. It can be treated as medicine. And when I go to buy it, it gets called a flower. I like that. I like that. That's what I want. I'm excited about that. So I have to get off my ass and get my card. And it costs like 200 bucks. I know that much. I haven't found out exactly what I have to do to get the card. I should though. I really need to utilize that computer I carry around in my pocket. It's funny. I'm a cyborg with a computer in my pocket, and I've yet to figure out something I really need to figure out. It's almost October, and I don't know. There might be a waiting list. I got to get on it. But thanks for watching. This has been Yankey Show. We do this every Sunday, and I'm gonna start streaming from both places once I get the new computer. So, and that should be soon. It's being put together for me. So, and it's going to be really great. It's going to be built to exactly what I need it for. So it's going to be even better if I bought a brand new expensive one from the store off the shelf, because it's going to be custom made. So it's going to be fantastic. We're going to be able to do a lot of cool things with it. I'm really excited. So moving forward, things are going to get a lot fancier looking with the shows. And so thanks for watching, and thanks for sharing if you shared. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for the Daily Burn. That's our political show. That's from my Facebook page, Our Revolution War Room. Unless I have to move it to YouTube, which I will if I have to. I will keep moving forward. I won't let them break me. They're suppressing me and suppressing my content. And I know that's what it's about. It's not about that I overshared. It's about what I shared. They don't want this out there. They don't want me talking to you. But if you want to see stuff like this, support it. Share it, get it out there. And if you can support it financially, support it financially. But if you can't, share the shit out of it. Get it out there. Get it in front. Get eyeballs on the screen. Get people viewing it. If you liked this show, let people know. Tell them about it. And you'll find that next week there'll be 8 people here. There'll be 16. There'll be 50. We'll grow and grow and grow. It'll take off. I fully believe that. I'm fully committed to it. So check it out moving forward and support us. Support the shows. And subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.